The Adai Tano program. Harley-Davidson of Guam. Visit our new showroom, now located on Route 8 in Mighty. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Ahead on prime time, trial begins for an airman accused of murdering a fellow airman on Anderson Air Force Base. Plus, the home of the Sharks is vandalized and much of the day is spent cleaning up the aftermath. And a teach-in by Independent Guahan focuses on cockfighting, culture, and colonialism.
Hafa and good evening.
The murder of a fellow airman trial is underway for 20-year-old Airman First Class Isaiah Edwards.
A panel of 7 Air Force officers, including 2 women and 5 men, have been selected as jurors in this murder case. While some witnesses' accounts may point the blame towards Edwards, his defense attorney argues he was only acting in self-defense.
Airman First Class Isaiah Edwards' court-martial gets going in Louisiana. The 20-year-old is accused of stabbing his roommate Airman First Class Bradley Hell to death inside their quarters while on deployment last March at Anderson Air Force Base. Both Hell and Edwards were assigned to the 2nd Aircraft Maintenance Squadron as electronic warfare journeymen. Our news affiliates at KSLA are covering the trial proceedings being held at the federal courthouse in Shreveport. Edwards is currently in custody at Barksdale Air Force Base and is being transported by Barksdale security forces to and from court. Opening statements began with prosecutors presenting a nearly 5-minute-long video of the crime scene. A1C Hell's family visibly upset when the video showed him lying on the floor of his room in a pool of blood. Prosecutors told the jury the evidence will show Edwards stabbed Hell multiple times in his neck, back, and chest. They say testimony shows Edwards, trained in martial arts and known to carry a pocket knife, was overheard stating he, quote, could kill another person or, quote, could even kill Hell. This apparently heard in a conversation days before the murder. Prosecutors add that the evidence will show Edwards attempted to wash blood off his hands before going to help. Edwards' attorney does not dispute the fact he killed Hell. However, they argue Edwards was acting in self-defense. Defense questioning some of the accounts recalled from witnesses. They also told jury members Edwards plans to take the stand and testify as to what happened the night Hell died. Throughout the hearing, jury members saw graphic photos from the crime scene and heard accounts from security forces personnel and paramedics who responded to the scene. The 2 airmen who shared a bathroom with Hell and Edwards also described what happened. One of the airmen told jury members he woke to painful screams, heard a thud, and someone yelling, "Why?" He testified that when he went to see what was going on, he saw Edwards on top of Hell grabbing at his hands as Hell was trying to cover his neck and moving his body. The airman said he saw blood coming from Hell's neck and woke his roommate, and the 2 ran for help. The jury also heard testimony from an Air Force Office of Special Investigations agent and a field martial arts expert who discussed wounds found on both Hell and Edwards, focusing on their hands and Edwards' knees. A1C Edwards pleaded not guilty in court earlier this week. The rest of the day was spent working out pretrial motions and reviewing evidence that would possibly be used during trial. That evidence included witness testimony and photos from the crime scene.
Hell's family wore blue ribbons pinned to their shoulders in his honor and memory. If the jury reaches a conviction, the trial would immediately move to the sentencing phase.
Well, the man busted with drugs hidden in his wheelchair is sentenced in the District Court of Guam. Eric Beneventi will serve over 5 years in jail. KUAM files show he was arriving in Guam from Japan when he was searched by customs, hidden in his wheelchair. Court documents state officers found 455 grams of the drug ice. Authorities believe at least 4 teens are responsible for breaking into Simon Sanchez High School early morning.
The suspects apparently tagged the campus with graffiti, damaging multiple rooms and taking off with some electronic items. The home of the Sharks spent most of the day cleaning up the mess they left behind.
An upsetting first week back to school in Jigo.
This was noticed just this morning?
Yes, around 5 or so, our first staff member that came in, they noticed that the main office was broken into. Okay. And that's when they did a perimeter sweep.
Melvin Finotnia is the assistant principal at Simon Sanchez High. He says the vandals used a pickaxe to break in from the janitor's storage room.
It's secured, but they, like I said, they did the shining number. You know, they broke the door and they crawled through the hole that they made and came in through the building from there. And then they just had their way.
Ransacking multiple classrooms and the main office. Thieves took off with electronic equipment like projectors and iPads. Guam Police crime scene investigators collected evidence today.
This isn't the first time this school year this happened.
This is the third time in this past 4 weeks.
The impact causing a financial headache, but Fenolio says they believe 4 minors were involved. Security cameras are set up in some classrooms. It caught them in the act. Officers also reviewing the footage as part of their investigation.
Why do you think they do this?
You got me, man. Boredom, just anger, I don't know. But if you look at the main office and the effort they use to break some of these doors, seem like angry people to me. We just need the community's help to make sure that they know where their kids are, because these are kids. And if their parents knew where they were, then they wouldn't be here messing our school.
If you have information about the break-ins and thefts at Simon Sanchez High, you're asked to call police or Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP. Well, Governor Lulian Guerrero says she's in full support of Port General Manager Roy Respicio's plan to form a task force to resolve employee issues. This includes the 7 fired employees involved in a long-running dispute with the agency. They lost their jobs after they were found to have made illegal payments to former marketing manager Bernadette Meno for her workman's compensation claim. Former Port GM Joanne Brown has charged that Respicio's move is just a political payoff.
Without counsel. We also told the board that
I have asked him to look at all the cases, and him creating a task force, I think, is a very fair and objective way of looking at all those cases. And I think the employees should have closure to it. You know, you can't have employees just hanging for many years. So, yes, I'm very supportive of that.
What is your reaction to former Port General Manager and former Senator Joanne Brown's accusations that this is just a political payoff?
You know, that's Joanne's opinion. That's not my opinion.
5 of the fired port workers won their cases with the Civil Service Commission, but the port has appealed to the Superior Court. 2 other cases, including Meno's, have still not been heard by the CSC. Well, dozens flocked to the University of Guam Thursday night. The topic, cockfighting, culture, and colonialism, a teach-in hosted by Independent Guahan.
As reported, President Trump recently signed the Farm Bill, which bans cockfighting in all states and territories effective later this year. Guam's former delegate, Congresswoman Madeline Bordallo, unable to vote, and her opposition on the measure falling on deaf ears. Now, discussion is heavy on what's next and what residents can do to keep the popular pastime. It's more than a ban on cockfighting. Dr. Michael Bavacqua of Independent Guahan urges residents to see the bigger picture.
This is a democratic deficiency in the United States. If you're in the territory, it's always deficient. It's always deficient because you're not a part of the conversation.
While some have celebrated the recent ban on cockfighting, calling it a blood sport, Bavacqua, who admits he's not a cockfighter, cites its cultural significance.
And so interestingly enough, cockfighting became a way that the Spanish would encourage indigenous people in the Philippines, in Guam, and in Latin America to come out of the jungles and come into the towns where they could be watched over, where they could give money, and where they could be socialized in a Spanish way.
On Sundays, men would attend Mass, then they'd cockfight.
During the Spanish period, the cockfighting becomes the central part of kind of men's life, because you go to church, you prepare for the fiesta, you do what you're supposed to do as part of a good Spanish subject, as part of being a good Christian, and then you get to spend the rest of the time cockfighting with your friends. And so it was an important part.
Accounts show Chamorros were passionate about the sport, which Spanish recognized was more profitable than exporting tobacco. In the 1960s, it was even considered as a means of marketing Guam as a tourist destination.
If we could promote this idea, we could get people to come in from Asia who like gambling, because cockfighting is big in certain Asian countries. However, this was never really pursued.
And for those who argue cockfighting isn't a part of Guam's culture, Bavacqua says, listen carefully. When Chamorros were finally able to elect their own leaders, they compared politics to cockfighting. One account shows a Southern politician received a dead rooster on his porch every time he lost an election.
One of the ways that you can see that cockfighting is embedded in the culture, though, is how it has come to be used in terms of electoral politics. Right? Hadzi Gadzumu. who is your Gogzu is a very sort of important thing.
For more information, visit the Independent Gwahan Facebook page. Both Speaker Tina Munya Barnes and Senator Kelly Marsh attended last night's talk on cockfighting. Speaker Barnes, in a release, states, quote, she plans to continue the dialogue with her colleagues and local cockfighters to explore what options we may have going forward, end quote.
Well, firefighters worked to put out the flames at an abandoned building in Dededo last night. We brought you that story on social media. It happened at the site of the old Dededo Flea Market around 7:30 p.m. Thick smoke could be seen billowing into the air off Harmon Loop Road and the surrounding area. The fire was put out around 8:20 p.m. No injuries were reported. The cause is still under investigation.
Well, dinner was interrupted for customers at a local Tumaning restaurant Thursday night. This viewer-submitted video shows firefighters responding to King's Restaurant near GPO just after 6 p.m. yesterday. Customers and workers were forced to evacuate. Heavy smoke was seen throughout the restaurant. The fire was contained to the women's restroom. Fortunately, no one was injured. Firefighters were able to get it under control. However, no word yet on how it started.
Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Cheers to 80 years! It's our 80th anniversary and the gifts are on us. 80 gift certificates, 8 shopping sprees, 8 staycations, and 1 round-trip flyaway for 2 to Manila. So how do you enter? Calvo's Insurance personal home and auto customers are automatically entered. Non-Calvo's customers may enter by receiving a qualified quote. It's our way of saying thank you for trusting us for the past 80 years. For more details, visit calvos.com/giveaway or call 472-6816. Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years.
The great thing about technology isn't about how big, fast, or clever it is.
It's about delivering connections that empower people to achieve things. Try them for the first time.
Connect with others. Or even rediscover the world around us. It's your world. Explore it.
Chuck E. Cheese's Guam is not all fun and games. Our pizza is delicious with the freshest toppings, oven-baked to order. Try the fresh salad bar, sandwiches, and don't forget our mouth-watering wings. Come and eat at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam.
Welcome back. Well, they served together as governor and lieutenant governor, and now Carl Gutierrez and Madeline Berdalio will serve in complementary roles in the Leon Guerrero administration. Adelup announced that former Governor Gutierrez has been appointed as senior advisor on economic development, national affairs, and international affairs. Former lieutenant governor and congressional delegate Berdalio was appointed as Washington liaison.
A veteran in the Department of Public Health and Social Services is tapped to lead the agency. With many federal programs falling under her scope, Linda Unpinko Denorsi admits the partial federal shutdown posed a challenge the first week on the job.
Carmen Salahi reports.
Moving on up within the department she's worked with for 28 years, Linda Unpinko Denorsi was appointed director of the Department of Public Health and Social Services.
The first week has been quite a challenge. As you know, right now the federal government is undergoing a temporary partial shutdown.
The partial shutdown worried island residents on Snap. As reported, nearly 1/3 of the island, or 53,000 individuals, benefit from the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. DeNorsey announced those benefits for February can come early if residents renew by January 20th. Federal money also goes to farmers and the Women, Infant, and Children, or WIC program. She says the 40 WIC employees will not lose pay just yet.
We are okay as far as till March. No, right now they're still employed because we have the funding to support them at this point in time.
But federal funding is just one of her priorities. Another is ensuring the medicinal marijuana program, approved by voters 4 years ago, is up and running, including the $1 million laboratory to ensure quality control.
We really need to monitor it to make certain that it adheres to really stringent rules, and that is the reason why we have to explore those rules and make certain that we have the resources to get that started.
As reported, at least 5 residents have received cards for homegrown cultivation. DeNorsey now reviewing the details of that program.
That is what my role is in this department, to make certain that it does go through.
Other plans are to make it easy for patients to apply to multiple assistant programs.
The mission is we really want to focus on prevention so that a lot of our patients, all their needs, their health conditions are addressed so that they don't have to go to the emergency room.
And while new directors are settling into their positions, like here at the Department of Public Health, they still await confirmation from the legislature. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
Thanks, Carmen. Well, day 4 on the job for the new administration. Governor Lulian Guerrero and Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio joined health officials and several senators as January has been declared Cervical Cancer Awareness Month. Both branches announcing their commitment to increasing public knowledge and ensuring efforts for early detection of cervical cancer diagnosis and treatment. The key message is for women to get their Pap testing and get tested for the HPV virus. Well, the airport authority is celebrating its 43rd anniversary, and Governor Lulian Guerrero, in her first proclamation signing Friday, designated the week of January 13th as Airport Week. Former Senator Tom Atta is GIA's new executive manager. He says his top priorities include major capital improvement projects, such as a new third-floor arrivals corridor set for completion by the end of the year.
Construction activities, if not properly managed, could cause quite a significant disruption in the airport operation. So we're looking at that real closely, making sure that we're anticipating the next steps and trying to get in front of it so that we minimize the disruption.
Other projects include the expansion of Airport Road and the construction of the new commuter terminal. Also high on the list is the protracted litigation with DFS, which is contesting the 10-year, $154 million master retail concession contract awarded to rival Lotte Duty Free in 2013.
We're going to start seeing some movement in that, but that is a very important piece because the revenues that's generated from that contract certainly is very key in our ability to be able to service the bonds that we have taken out, bonds in excess of $100 million.
Superior Court Judge Arthur Barcinas last year voided the contract and ordered it to be rebid. The airport has appealed the decision, but the Supreme Court has not yet ruled in the case.
There wasn't much else for him to do. Hope and Healing Guam President Andrew Camacho confirms their executive director, attorney Michael Caspino, stepped down last summer. Hope and Healing was established in 2017 in light of clergy sexual abuse lawsuits. Camacho tells KUAM Caspino stepped down when plaintiffs' attorneys opted for a different route for mediation and settlement. Camacho reports the second part of their mission to provide counseling and spiritual guidance for victims continues to run smoothly. As reported, the church will be filing Chapter 11 reorganization, also known as bankruptcy, next Wednesday due to the clergy sexual abuse lawsuits. Close to 200 lawsuits have been filed to date. Camacho says he remains optimistic, adding, quote, "I believe 2019 will be an important year as we close a very painful chapter in our history and work to make our church stronger," end quote. With regional headlines, here's KSPN 2 News.
Hafa Guam, here are the headlines for CNMI. Hopwood Middle School was destroyed during Super Typhoon U2. Currently, the students, teachers, and administration are reporting to Marianas High School, going half-day to split time. But come February, that may all change, as a temporary school is being built on the property of Culberville Elementary School. And progress is moving pretty fast.
It's expected for the building to be done by the end of January, so our target date to move to the new temporary school is during the second week of February.
Principal Lee Wag says there are plans in the works to rebuild the school at the original location, but they want to make sure the proper steps are taken to make sure it is more durable next time.
And that is the initial plan, to actually make sure that we take a look at the original building or the original school, and to make sure that we are able to put it back to where it was before, to restore it back. And we're doing we asked some contractors already to take a look at the building and see on how we can actually make sure that that there will be no further damages that may occur over time, so that we can start looking forward on the restoration of the classrooms.
When Hopwood Middle moves to its new temporary location, classes will go back to being full-day schedules. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell.
For more news, visit saipantv.com. For KSPN 2 News, I'm Ashley McDowell.
Sports is next, but first, a look at your island weather.
It's Micronesia Mall's 30th anniversary, and to celebrate, we are giving away a new Kia Soul LX, a Mazda 3i Sport, the popular Honda Civic LX, and 30 Manila Flyaways during our 30th anniversary Drive-Away Flyaway. Win 3 great cars from Triple J Auto Group, 30 Flyaways from Philippine Airlines, plus thousands of prizes from Burger King and Foot Locker when you play Micronesia Mall's 30th anniversary Drive-Away Flyaway.
Start something new this year when you buy a new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram from Cars Plus and Mighty. Like a new Jeep Compass Sport, $175 for paycheck. Or a new Chrysler Pacifica LX, $213 for paycheck. Or save $10,500 on a new Ram 1500. How about a new Jeep Wrangler Sport? Only $309 per paycheck. Plus, receive a Cars Plus Shell Value Card with every vehicle purchase. So this year, start something new with a new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram. Only at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. On the show tonight, we'll take a look at your direct zone Athlete of the Week. I also have some rugby news on GW star Alana Garcia. Check it out. We're here direct zone dedicated for our Athlete of the Week. Today we have Guam Elite basketball player Jaden Santos, and here to present him with a check is Kevin. Kevin?
All right, man. Congratulations to the Athlete of the Week. Who are you going to donate the check to?
I would like to donate this check to the Micronesian Sports Foundation.
You put up 19 points in the championship game of the Holiday Hoops Youth Basketball Tournament. What was working for you that night that you just kept knocking down shot after shot?
That night, I just felt normal. It's just my shots were just going in. So we're moving the ball around, and we're just talking to each other, communicating. They're trying to make extra effort to give me the ball, so they're just encouraging me to just play.
Coach Will and Dom have been real big influences in your basketball career so far. How have they helped you with your game and your development with the sport of basketball?
With the year-round training that Guam Elite has, Coach Dom and Coach Will have taught me more of the game of basketball, and they also, during practices, drill us hard so we can get better as a player.
Attending St. Paul, you guys are going for your 5th straight championship title. You're 8th grade now. Talk about the upcoming season.
What we're basically looking forward to the upcoming season is just to defend our title. I've been playing with my teammates for the past 2 years, so we developed chemistry with each other, so we can play better for each other.
I know you have some people to thank that have helped you along the way throughout your basketball career.
I'd like to thank my parents and my coaches as they helped me throughout the years playing the game of basketball.
All right, congratulations. Stay tuned to our next Dow Rentone Athlete of the Week.
KUAM Sports Athlete of the Week is brought to you by
GW standout athlete Alana Garcia signed her letter of intent to play rugby for Mount St. Mary in Emmitsburg, Maryland today at the school's main office. In front of friends, family, and faculty, Alana talked about how excited she was to be able to play the sport at the next level. Her number 35 jersey will also be retired in girls rugby at the GW school.
It feels really good. I'm just really happy and overwhelmed at the same time that I just got to have this opportunity, but I'm going to make my family proud and the people back home here, and I just hope that everything that comes my way, that I could achieve it like everything else that I've achieved in my life.
In programming news, Sunday, January 13th on KUAM TV 8, NBC Sunday Night Football, 7:30 in the morning, NFL Divisional Playoff game, the Indianapolis Colts and the Kansas City Chiefs. Then on Monday, January 14th on KUAM TV 11, NFL on CBS, AFC Divisional Playoff game, the Los Angeles Chargers at the New England Patriots. 2 vets in the game at the quarterback position looking for a chance to advance in the postseason. That's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
Visitors make memories on our island. They contribute millions of dollars every year to our community. So what does that mean? Tourism keeps our island's culture alive.
And it strengthens our identity as Chamorro.
Tourism creates opportunities for local businesses to thrive.
The dishes I create feature local ingredients.
These ingredients come from local farms and create local jobs for farmers like us.
For every job we see in tourism,
there are hundreds more we don't see.
From teachers
to babysitters
to engineers.
We all work in the tourism industry.
Our visitor industry benefits everyone. It improves our income and gives back to our community.
Meaning more opportunities for a better Guam.
Tourism works for Guam.
When you purchase a vehicle from our dealerships, we give back to the American Cancer Society and Guam Cancer Care. With your help, together, we've raised over $400,000. giving local cancer patients a gift of more anniversaries, more birthdays, more years, more days. Together, we're giving them the gift of time. Triple J, customers first.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shoutouts from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Celebrating their birthday on this fine Friday. Happy birthday to you, Lynn Padua. That is coming with lots of love from Frank and the girls, Frankie and Anna. Have a very special happy birthday.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include your photo, your name, and birthday so we can celebrate you. And Nick, it's our favorite time of the week.
Yeah.
So now it's the winner of a yummy Cold Stone Creamery birthday cake. Happy belated birthday to you. Carmelyn Tossin Duenas. Congratulations, a rep from Cold Stone will call you on how you can redeem your yummy Cold Stone cake.
Well, that's going to do it for us here on Prime Time. But everyone else out there, thanks for watching. Have a safe weekend.
Closed captioning is brought to you by